Christmas with everybody. Da, 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 glisten, da, 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 and may all. It's your girl Twala Cole, aka Sister Cole. How are you guys doing? I hope you had a wonderful day. To subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share me out, okay? And don't forget to leave those comments because I love hearing from you guys. All right, so we're going to get into this video, honey. Okay, so I'm going to spend this time speaking to my fam out there about mental health and managing your mental health. Okay, during holiday seasons, it is a time where some people experience sadness and depression, you know. And a lot of people experience this because of many different reasons. Not everybody's reason is the same. You know, some people have lost loved ones. Some people are estranged from their families. Some people are just dealing with mental health. And during this time and season, you know, something triggers loneliness or depression, whatever the case may be, you know. And, you know, sadness, depression, none of us is exempt from these things. As a matter of fact, I believe everyone is trying to really keep their head above the water in regards to their emotions and their feelings, because life is not easy. Let me put my belt on, you guys. Because life is just not easy. You know, I remember when I was younger, my mom used to say, live long enough, baby, because life will definitely teach you some things, and that it has, you know. So life is not easy, you know. We are faced with so much stuff in life, you know, all types of stress, all type of situations, you know. And the time that we're living in now, it isn't easy. Inflation is gone up, bills, you know, food. My goodness, I went grocery shopping the other day, and you know, I remember back in the day when $100 could really get, you know, food could really get you a nice, you know, little haul of food. But nowadays, I mean, you know, you could barely get anything with $100. 1 or 2, 3, 4 items, and it's already, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, life is just, it's very challenging. So what do you do? You know, what do you do? Well, what you don't do is give in to these feelings of depression or sadness or hurt or pain. You see, our mind is very powerful, and we have the ability to regulate our mind. You understand? We have the ability, you know, to operate in strength, but you have to choose that, you know. The worst thing to do is when you start to feel bad or sad, you know, or lonely or whatever the case may be. The worst thing to do is to give into those feelings, you know, is to say, well, you know what, that's it. I can't, you know, so-and-so happened, or this person is not here, or look at my life. My life is that is the worst thing to do, because when you do those things, you open a door. You open a door, and that door will be open so wide, and a flood of everything that you don't want will come into your life. A flood of sadness, a flood of depression, a flood of defeat, you know. I'm a believer. So as a believer, when I am challenged with those things, I have to remind myself who I'm connected to. And when I remind myself who I am connected to, You understand? I'm connected to God. I'm in a relationship with God, you know? And there's a scripture that says, greater is he that is in me than he or any problems or situations that is in this world. And that's where I get my inner strength from. You've got to dig deep down on the inside of you and dig into that inner strength. And you have to say, you know something? Yes, in this season, I'm feeling sad. Yes, because the first thing to healing is to acknowledge. So you got to say, yes, I'm feeling a little depressed, or yes, I'm feeling a little down. But then this is the important part. This is the important piece right here. But then you got to say to yourself, but I refuse. Yes, you have to say to yourself, I refuse to give in to these feelings and these emotions. And then you take then you take your attention off of yourself, and guess what? Put it on someone else. These are the best times to where you can help somebody along the way. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling like all hope is gone, listen to me. You need, work on something that's meaningful. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Look, bags, clothes, shoes, cars, houses, those things don't bring meaning to your life. That's, you count on those things, having a lot of subscribers and being monetized and staying monetized, which we all want. Don't get me wrong. We all want that. But that cannot be like your final plight to happiness, because things will fade away. Things go away. You understand? Our emotions is like a reclining chair. It's up, it's down, it's up, and it's down. So when you start to feel those type of emotions overcoming you, overtaking you, those emotions of sadness and depression and loneliness and all of those things, regret and coulda, shoulda, wouldas, when those things start to, you start to pay attention to that stuff and that door comes open, the best thing that you can do is to go and find somebody that needs help and put that energy in helping somebody along the way. Because when you do that right there, first of all, it takes the attention off yourself. Sometimes we get into a little pity party and we don't want to let it go, and we just bawl in the corner someplace. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to somebody. My life sucks. My life is depressed. Meanwhile, you got two legs you walking on. You got the use of all your limbs, and there's somebody who can't walk, who don't have the use of all their limbs. You understand what I'm saying? If anybody had a reason to feel down or sad, they do. You understand? But you, on the other hand, who has the use of all of your limbs, you know what I'm saying? You have to say, you know what? No. I'm not going to allow this situation to overtake me. I am going to help somebody along the way. And let me tell you something. When you help somebody along the way, that is the best feeling in the entire world. You feel accomplished. You feel like you have a purpose. You feel like you did something in this thing called life. And you, most of all, you took the attention off of yourself and you put it on somebody else, and you were their hero, their shero. You understand? Their guru, their help in a time of trouble. You understand? And that will help you to take your eyes off of the things that have you like a reclining chair, up, down, oh, I feel good this minute. Oh, I don't feel good the next minute. Good, bad, no. Nope. So what am I saying here? What is Sister Cole saying here? Manage your mental health. Manage it. That means don't ignore it. Don't try to act like you don't feel sorrowful, or you don't feel sad, or you don't feel depressed. No, acknowledge it. And then you manage. And managing your mental health, it's different for each person. Everybody is different. Everybody's different. Some people read the Bible. Some people pray. But then there's some people who meditate. There's some people who read the Quran. There's some people who do yoga. There's some people who do pottery. There's some people who do YouTube. Whatever managing your mental health looks like for you, something that gets your mind off of sadness and depression, something that brings joy to your life, something that makes you feel good as a person, that is what you have to do. You have to manage your mental health. Don't give into it. Oh, I'm feeling sad. That's it. I want to feel sad. I want to feel sad for the whole week. That's it. I'm not going to talk to nobody. I'm not saying nothing to nobody. I'm just going to curl up in this bed, and I'm just going to call out from work, and I'm not going to do jack because my life, I feel, no. No. That is the worst thing that you can do. Manage your mental health. Find something that's going to take your mind off, you understand, of wanting to get into a depressed state or something, or, take your mind off what feeds that depressed state or that state of sadness, So what are the 2 words or the 3 words? Manage your mental health. And as long as you live, you're going to have challenges. As long as you live, you and I are going to have challenges. But you have to pull from that strength that you have. Pull from that strength that you have on the inside of you to combat, those things that have you down, or those things that have you downcasted. You got to pull from your strength, and your strength is to resist. Your strength is to say no. Your strength is to say, acknowledge, yes, this is how I feel, but no, this is not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give in to this feeling because I understand that it is a feeling, and I can change my feelings. I can change my atmosphere. I can change what's going on around me. You understand? If there's something that you do that makes you get into a funk or to a sadness, then guess what? Acknowledge what it is and just don't do it. If the doctors have diagnosed you with a mental health diagnosis, read up on it, know about it, educate yourself about your mental health diagnosis, and then you work towards them accordingly. Because I find as a social worker that a lot of people are diagnosed with mental health, but they've never read up on it, they don't understand it, they don't even know how to deal with it. And that right there is a no. Know what your mental health is or your mental diagnosis is, right? Educate yourself, and then you come up with a plan on how you're going to combat, that diagnosis. That means how you're going to get into the fight rather than not being in the fight at all. Like, I got X, Y, and Z. My life is so horrible. I might as well give up. No. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. No, sir. No. If you are diagnosed with the mental health, educate yourself. And then once you educate yourself, then you know how to move accordingly. And you make sure that you manage your mental health. And whatever it is that looks like for you, that's what you do. If singing makes you feel good, then you do that. If reading makes you feel good, then you do that. If you make sure that you go to your doctors. If you want to take medications, then you make sure you take your medications. You take them on time. If you don't want to do medications, then you don't do medications. Maybe you want to do meditating, or maybe you want to do a holistic approach. Whatever it is, just make sure you are managing it. And managing it is not pretending like you don't have it or it's not there. That's not managing it. Managing it is to do what? To acknowledge first, okay, this is my situation. This is what I'm I'm going through right now. But guess what? This is what I'm going to do. You come up with a plan and you do it, okay? Being inactive is not going to help you. Being inactive and thinking that just by you not acknowledging what your problem is, your situation is, your mental health is, your sadness, the cause of it, by you not acknowledging it is not going to help you. You understand? Because some people feel like, okay, I'm going to wish this away, or I'm not going to acknowledge it and it's going to go away. No, that's not going to work. You have to manage your life. You have to manage this, listen to me. Sometimes the cause of our sadness or depression or whatever, sometimes the cause of it could be to a wrong that was done to you or something that happened to you. You understand what I'm saying? But guess what? Even when something has happened to you that you didn't ask for and it was bad, you got to remember, it's not your fault. It is not your fault. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to say to yourself, you know what? It is definitely not my fault. I didn't ask for this. This is what happened. But then you acknowledge it. You say, okay, this is what happened. But then you say to yourself, but I refuse. I refuse to allow the wrong that was done to me. I refuse to allow these feelings of sadness and hurt and pain and rejection. I refuse to allow it to have power over me. I'm here to let you know that your mind is very powerful. It is very powerful. We are like input and output machines. What does that mean? What does Sister Cole mean? Whatever you put in, that's what's going to come out. Whatever you put in, that's how you build your atmosphere. So if you input sadness, if you input rejection, if you input, loneliness, I can't do it, I can't help it, if you put those things in, then that's the atmosphere that you create. But, you got to reverse. You got to say, I reverse that thought. I reverse, everything that happened to me. Acknowledge it. Yes, it happened. But guess what? I am greater. The strength that God has given me is greater. And listen to me, this is something that you might have to do daily, or maybe you have to do weekly, because sometimes we want it to be like magic. We want to be like abracadabra, poof, it's gone. But listen to me, out of all my years of living, ain't nothing been abracadabra. There's nothing where I was able to be like abracadabra, poof, let it go. No. You understand? Everything in my life, you know what? I have to deal with it. I have to challenge it. I have to fight it. I have to realize who I am and who I belong to and who's on the inside of me. And I use that strength to combat life. Something like Langston Hughes said, life ain't been no crystal stairs for me. And I know life ain't been no crystal stairs for you. But there's one thing I do know, is that the God that created you did not create no junk. And he did not create you, with a malfunction. And what do I mean when I say that? Because we may have sicknesses, we may have mental health, we may have developed mental issues, you understand? We may be having handicaps in certain areas, but guess what? When I say God don't make no junk, I mean that even with all of our flaws and with all of our defects, we still is somebody. We still is somebody in the sight of God. And you need to get that in your spirit. You need to say, you know what? I am somebody. I'm somebody. And I'm going to be the best I can be with the gifts and the ability that God has given me. And I mean that. And I'm telling you guys, I know that this right here that I'm talking about, I know that when you manage your life, when you manage what you're going through, when you manage your hurt, when you manage your pains, I know that it gets better. Yes, but you got to learn how to walk with the crutch. Picture it like that. Come on now, somebody. You got to learn. You may have to have a crutch, and you may have some crutches in your life, but you know how you have the physical crutch. You learn how to walk with it, and that's what you got to do. You got to learn how to walk with it. In other words, manage Manage your life. Manage what ails you. Manage what opposes you, because you are greater. The strength that you have on the inside of you, it is greater, okay? And don't compare yourself to nobody else. Don't look over on somebody else's fence and be like, if I, oh, coulda, shoulda, woulda, if I was, if I had it like that. Don't do that. No, ma'am. No, sir. Don't do that. Don't compare yourself to nobody, because you are uniquely made. You understand? You know, God molded you the way that he molded you. Then he threw away that mold, because you are unique. You are one of a kind. Okay? So I hope that I have said something that encouraged somebody, because guess what? You know, the enemy, you want you to give up, want you to throw in the towel, want you to feel suicidal, want you to feel like your life doesn't matter. But baby, I'm here to let you know, yes, ma'am, your life matters. And like I said, if you're feeling lonely, you're feeling depressed, you know, go help somebody. Go find somebody to help. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you will change your atmosphere. You will change your atmosphere. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you will. You know, some people say, well, I'm so lonely. I've lost, people. I've lost family. I'm so lonely. I don't like these holidays because I'm lonely. You know what? Go and volunteer. Go volunteer at your shelter. Go volunteer at the hospital, because there's people who feel the same way. Some people who have lost family. Some people who are estranged, who are separated or have a problem or issue with their families, right? Go and volunteer. If loneliness is an issue, volunteer. Go to the children's hospital, go to hospice and volunteer. And this thing right here will give you, you feel like you have a purpose. Trust me, I'm not telling you nothing that I've not done. It gives you purpose. And when you feel like you have purpose, baby, let me tell you something. That's that kind of joy that nobody can't take away. Or you understand what I'm saying? That's that everlasting type of joy when you help somebody along the way. All right? Don't forget that you are blessed and highly favored when you close your eyes. Mwah, mwah, mwah.